if you know that's the one that always sells out, why don't you order 12 of them and only 3 of the small? They're all still sitting there. It's common sense. I mean, I was in retail, so I know as long as you can order what you need, there should not be a problem. And I had people would come and say, here's my phone number, let me know when I'm least business. Let me know when this margarine's going on sale. I'd call them up and say, hey, the margarine's going on sale in 2 weeks, because I'd get the order by 30 cases. Yeah, that's what I would do.
They don't do that nowadays.
No. It is sad.
Okay, welcome everyone. We're a couple minutes late to get started. Everyone, please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag's back there now. Go after Christmas. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, minutes from our November 13th regular meeting. Tiffany, you got a chance to look them over?
Yes, and I will make a motion to accept them as written.
And I'll second that motion.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes. And then minutes from our special emergency meeting on November 22nd, 2023. You had a chance to look those over?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as written for the special trustee meeting November 22nd, 2023.
And I will second that motion, but it was an emergency meeting rather than a special meeting.
Oh, it does say special trustee.
So we need a correction to an emergency meeting. Other than that, I will second that as long as it's corrected to emergency meeting.
Roll call. Tiffany. Yes. Ed.
Yes. All right, financials. You have a chance to look them over, Tiff?
I will make a motion to accept the financials as written.
And I'll second that one also.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes. Communications.
The Ohio Department of Development has issued its guidelines and application process for the Brownfield Remediation Program. This is from the Portage County Land Utilization Corporation. They're a state-designated lead entity for Portage County. In round one, each county in the state has been set aside $1 million under the program that is available under the application until the application period ends. Additional funding is also available competitively, and it requires a 25% match contribution. To submit properties for consideration, the below minimum information is due to the land bank by March 1st, 2024 in order to allow time for submittal to the state by their April 1st, 2024 deadline. It is expected that additional competitive funding will be available in round 2 of the program after July 4th, 2024. And then NOPEC sent us some information that they plan to hold their electric standard program price stable for another 6-month period, beginning with the December 2023 CEI Ohio Edison AEP Ohio meter reads through the May 2024 meter reads. NOPEC standard program price will be 6.6 cents per kilowatt hour. And then, do you guys plan on bringing this up?
Yes. You want to bring that up, Kristy?
Yeah, I can bring it up.
Just briefly what it is that we received from the prosecutor's office.
The prosecutor sent us a sample resolution regarding the state issue 2. It's not a zoning statute, but even unzoned townships have the option to adopt such a resolution, and any township, whether zoned or unzoned, may adopt the resolution by a simple majority vote of the Board of Township Trustees. Basically, they have the right to limit the number of adult use cannabis operators within the unincorporated area of the township.
And this is something I wanted to talk to the prosecutor about this, and how to move forward. He did send us a sample of another township in Ashland County that had done this. This is the marijuana initiative, and I think part of this includes marijuana use, on the job and working and things like that would probably be included in this. That I'm not sure, but we did receive this, but I haven't had a chance to talk to legal advice about it to move forward, unless you have and are ready to move forward.
No, I'd like to look this over and bring this up at the next meeting.
The meeting the 27th.
We could do that, or January, it doesn't matter.
Well, January 1st it starts,
If
so.
we have time to get through and
Yeah, we're
talk to
supposed to.
everybody before the
We
holidays.
can bring it up either time, so. Any other communications? Kristy?
No, that's all.
I have no additional.
I have none.
Tiffany, you have none? All right, let's go to fire department.
For the month of November, we've had 15 medical calls, 4 fire calls, 1 service call, 3 motor vehicle accidents, and today we're at 459 incidents.
For what, 59?
459. Mutual aid was given 11 times, and we received mutual aid 10 times for the last month. The other thing I have is presented to both of you addendum policies. The Otama attorney recommended we have some policies put in place, so I just gave you a couple samples that if you want to look at them and see whatever you think of them, and then we can talk about them at another meeting.
This is in addition to the policies that are already in effect and stuff.
You know, either the fire department could adopt them, or the township could adopt them, whichever one they want to see.
All right, I haven't had a chance to look at it, I just received it, so.
Yeah, so that's why I wanted to show them for you guys.
And where did you get this information? Where did you get this information?
No time.
Okay, I didn't hear what you said you got it. Okay.
I'd like to thank the Ravenna Fire Department. They donated us a stair chair. We got a grant, got new ones, and gave us a stair chair for our new salon. So I'd like to thank them for that.
Ravenna Township or Ravenna?
Fire.
Oh, very good.
The main fire department. And then also I presented a resignation letter to you guys from Robert Beach. He wants to resign from the fire department.
I will make a motion to accept his resignation.
That it's just effective
Immediately.
immediately. I'll second that motion.
I can't hear.
Roll call, Tiffany?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes. Does he have any equipment or anything that needs to be turned in?
No, he has nothing.
Okay.
And the last thing I have, I would like to ask the trustees to go into executive session to discuss as personnel.
Before we do that, do you have any questions or anything for the fire department further to what we've already talked about?
No.
I don't at this time either,
Well,
so.
let me say that. Background checks and physicals, those are,
They're coming, I just got 3 on my desk that they presented and sent to the trustees, or sent to the,
I haven't seen anything.
yeah, I just got.
Yeah, they're starting to come in now. We're starting to get them back,
Because
so.
the meeting, the 22nd, the goal was to give everybody 30 days.
Right. Yeah, we just got 3 in. Like I said, they're on my desk right now. Just when I walked in tonight, they were there.
That's all I got.
Okay. So, you're requesting an executive session with the trustees?
Yes.
Okay, I will make a motion that we adjourn our regular meeting, go into the executive session with our fire chief for the purpose of consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual. So I will make a motion, we go into leave our regular meeting, go into executive session under that part of the Ohio Revised Code.
Okay, I'll second.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed?
Yes. All right, hang tight, shouldn't be very long. All right, I'd like to make a motion, we come out of executive session, go back into regular public meeting.
I will second.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed?
Yes. All right, at our executive session, we received a complaint from a member of our fire department. A generalized complaint, basically. I'm going to make a motion no action was taken in the executive session, but I will make a motion this time that we forward this to our prosecutor, Brett Benz, up at the prosecutor's office in its entirety, and ask him to look at it and see what, if anything, our next step has to be to further look into these incidents or rectify them or whatever we need to do at that time. That's my motion.
I will second your motion.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed?
Yes. All right, and that concludes that part of it right there. This will be forwarded to the prosecutor. We'll revisit it again at a future meeting once we receive guidance from him.
And I'll make a motion that we go back into our regular trustee meeting.
I already did that, didn't I? Yeah, I already did that.
Oh, you already did that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, there we are.
All right.
Anything else from the fire department?
I have nothing.
I got questions. You say we call 222 if we have any problems, right? For the fire department? I'm just concerned about the fire department. Is there anybody on call at the fire department? And if they get a call in, we're not using our equipment?
You're asking what number to call?
No, they told me to call the 222 number, but I want to know where I'm going to get a respond from. Where are they coming from? Are they going to come from Palmyra? Are they going to come from Edinburgh? Are we not using our equipment?
We are, when we have people on duty, when you need two people, when you have one. We have mutual aid agreements with Palmyra, with Edinburgh, with Atwater, with Sebring, with Berlin Center, so that we can get a quick and appropriate response if we are understaffed or not staffed. Our first choice is always to use our equipment and our personnel. At
Because I
times
know
we-
I've seen the fire department, I've seen the paramedics out 3 times, and they've all came from Sebring. They weren't from here. It was theirs, and that has a concern to me because
And if you're in
that's quite a ways
Palmyra,
off.
anytime after 4 o'clock, if you're in Palmyra and there's a call comes out for the fire department, you don't see Palmyra respond, you see Deerfield respond. It's just, if you're understaffed, we have to respond. That's why we have mutual aid agreements with all the departments around us so that we can get an appropriate and quick response.
Don't the volunteers respond?
What's that?
Don't the volunteers respond?
We have quickly gone from a volunteer department to a paid department. We have very few volunteers.
Okay, you can't, the paid department they don't come in then, or there's,
We do everything we can to staff the building. Our first choice is always with our own personnel and our own building and our own equipment. That is always our first choice.
all right, staff, 2 or 3 guys or people?
Well, the subject's going to come up after the first year. I'm going to bring it up that right now we currently staff with 1 person 24 hours a day, or trying to. A lot of calls, we can't respond to that because we've only got 1 person in duty. We have to send out a call. So in order to remedy that, maybe we need to look at as a community to staff 2 people per shift, whether it's 24 hours a day or whether it's 6 in the morning to 6 at night or 7 in the morning to 7 at night with 2 people, so that when a call comes in, we can automatically take off and go. We don't have to worry about, wow, I've only got 1 person on duty. We've got to get somebody else to come in from our community or another community. And that subject's going to come up after the first year. We have to do something to remedy this. In order to do something, it's going to cost money. And the current fire budget probably will not allow us to hire another person to be there all the time. So it's going to be something we have to look at hard and long, and if we need to add another person, if we need to put a levy on, or an addition to our money on our levy, whatever we need to do to be able to fund this, the community's going to have to decide that, I think.
You need to do that, I think.
It's been an ongoing challenge.
It sure has, seems like it is, yeah. Because it seemed like it used to, with the volunteers, I don't ever think the response time out of too much, you know, too long.
However, it is not only Deerfield. Atwater's got the same problem, not as much as we do. Palmyra's got a big problem. Paris has a big problem. Berlin Center has a problem.
I don't care about us.
Edinburgh has a problem. It's not only us, you're involved because it's your community and you see what's
Right.
going on.
That's all I'm concerned
But
about.
I'm just telling you that it's not exclusive to us. Atwater seems to be pretty well, they're pretty well staffed when they get called out stuff. But Edinburgh, Paris, Palmyra, Berlin Center, they're all in the same situation we are. They have to hope people show up in order to respond to their own calls in their own community, so.
Something went downhill.
Yeah, sure did.
People by and large do not volunteer for anything anymore.
Well, they get paid when they're called,
Any
don't
of
they?
our civic groups, any of our groups in the community are well under membership because we can't get people that want to come and put time in. The Historical Society, the Civic Association, all of those, the auxiliary up for the Legion. People just don't want to volunteer anymore. I don't know what the answer is to that, but they don't.
But the fire department paid volunteers when they came in, right?
Right.
We do.
We do.
Yeah,
That's
they
what I
get
thought.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's very few volunteer hours happen at our department. Anybody that's there expects to be paid for it and are compensated for it
Right.
for the most part.
But they don't want to do that anymore.
Apparently not.
Okay. Answers a lot of questions.
All right, anything else?
Got me nowhere.
Road department. I have a couple of things before I forget. Number one, we took our big truck that we had the B-box in. The K&D trucking this morning had a bad air leak. It wouldn't hold air pressure for the brakes. I told them, go ahead and take that in under an emergency measure. We have to have that if it snows or gets icy. That has been repaired. There was a plastic T-valve that went into electric valve that was broke. He had to refabricate a new one with brass fittings, and it's fine to go now. We've had an ongoing problem with finding antifreeze on our floor down there underneath the truck. That same truck. We have not been successful in locating where that antifreeze was coming from. While he had it in there, I asked him to look at that. He did find out where it's come from. It's coming from a reservoir behind the radiator. That reservoir is about $700 to buy it, and the labor is $200 to $300 to take the old one out and put a new one in. I told him to hold off on that because we had a meeting tonight, but it's something that's not going to heal itself. It's leaking, and they said it's got a small crack in it, probably from vibration, probably from heat off the motor, probably because it's 10 years old. It's not going to heal itself. It's only going to get worse. If you're out in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night and that crack's open, we're out of the plow truck, plus a tow bill, plus the repairs have to be made. So I'm going to ask that we go ahead and ask him to order that part when it comes in and put it on for us.
Is that a competitive price?
That is a competitive price. The part is $700 some dollars no matter where you get it.
Is that a motion?
I'll make that motion that we approve him going, K&D trucking and go ahead and order that part, and when it comes in, to go ahead and fix that part of the problem.
I'll second.
It should be $1,000 or less.
Yes.
Second.
Price well paid if we don't leave them stranded out while they're plowing.
No. Okay, while we're in the road department, we approved putting new tires on the 450 and side by side. That has been done on both vehicles. Tires are really bald on the side by side and getting really bad on the 450. We have nice new tires on all of them right now. I think it was about $2,300 for all of them. I don't see the bill, but I'm thinking around $2,300, which we approved. That's about that amount. There is a vibration in the front, one of the front tires. I think it's a balance job, so we're going to ask them to take it back and rebalance the wheels, switch the tires wherever they need to do the correct balance right there. And that's something they'll do. So that's where we're at now. We were talking about the roadside mower. While we're in the road department, there's not much going on in the weather right now. We haven't been out plowing, we haven't been out salting. We're ready to, if we have to. But we hired Roger here as a full-time employee. We have Gary that's working part-time for us. TJ's still off under an accident that happened while he was on duty, which we have no idea when he's going to come back. He's hired attorneys to represent him through workman's comp. He's stating he's having a hard time getting the doctor's appointments and therapy. He's required. having a hard time getting that approved through workman's comp. So he has hired a lawyer on that part right there. That being said, we don't know when he's coming back. Might be, he goes to the doctor again the 28th, will he come back the 29th? I don't know. Will he come back a month later? Will he come back through? I don't know. I don't know. But we have too many employees right now without any snow work, salt work going on, things like that. And Buddy is a part-time employee. I want to broach the subject to have Buddy work on an as-needed basis or whatever we need to do. We got 2 guys down there that at this point in time, they can handle everything that needs done. Something that I think we should consider, especially with T. Jacobs, if he does come back, then we'll have to take another look at manpower. But I
We
think
have to watch that budget.
we have to watch that budget. Actually, Buddy would have been laid off last year after October, November. However, one of our employees was off for medical care for 14 or 16 weeks surgeries and some other things. So Buddy was able to stay through that time. And when the other employee came back, it was spring again, ready to start mowing, ready to start weed eating, ready to start patching roads. So he stayed on. And that was fine. We needed him at that time. What's your thoughts on that?
I think Buddy's done great with filling in and helping out where we needed him. Hopefully we can bring him back in the spring.
So, do you want me to talk to him and let him know that we are going to curtail his hours on an as-needed basis, or
Yeah, I agree to that.
is that a motion you would make? You want me to make it, or?
I'll make a motion that we let Buddy know that we'll have to limit his hours as an on-needed basis, and we'll communicate with him when we will need him for more hours when that time arises.
Basically, this will be a layoff
Layoff.
situation.
Yes.
I will second that.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes, and I will talk to Buddy about this tomorrow personally,
Okay.
so that he knows. All right. Anything, Roger, anything you need to bring up? I'll go ahead, sorry.
How old is that truck that you guys have at the service department?
Which one?
The big truck, weren't you talking about
Remember here,
buying?
the big international is, Nancy, it's 10, 12 years old now. It's probably at least 12 years old.
I think it's in 2011.
That's what I'm thinking, it's 10, 12 years old.
You know, because like a year ago, you were talking about buying a new one, and I know you had to wait for it, but you'll still have to wait for it.
Money,
Money, always, okay.
yeah, it's 230,000
Oh, yeah.
probably to buy a truck, you know, equipped with a bed, equipped with a plow situation, that's a lot of money.
We had one at the garage that we looked at for a while, but it was just
It wasn't,
overpriced.
the price wasn't what we should pay for it at that time, so. And honestly, if we keep the trucks we have on the road, I think currently we do have enough trucks. It's just a matter of making sure that they're in good mechanical situation when we need them, they're ready to go. And just like this right here, we found a problem. I think we need to get it taken care of. And if we continue to do that, we should be okay.
All right.
Again, we're gonna have to revisit that too. To buy a truck sooner or later, we gotta buy one, but it all comes down to money. All right, anything, you got anything, Roger, to add? Road department, building, okay, buildings and grounds. These guys had a funeral, when was that, Friday? Tuesday. Turned into be a horrible situation. They dug it rained all day long, the sides caved in 3 times. Had to redig it out, it rained, and left ruts in the cemetery, even though they had boards and plywood down, they left ruts there that we'll have to address and take care of and everything. Another situation that I've been made aware of, we don't dig and put our own footers in anymore for the headstones. It's more cost effective for us to have a company do it that does nothing but that. What happens is, they call and say, hey, it's on Monday, hey, we're coming Wednesday to put, or Thursday to put footers in for the headstones. We agreed to mark out the headstones exactly where they go so that we know the headstone's going. They have no records that they can get to. So we go down, the guys measure it all out, we know how big the headstone's gonna be, they lay it all out and they paint it. Exactly where it's gotta go. It's gotta go exactly right here. All right, that guy doesn't show up. He doesn't show up for a week or 2 weeks. It rains, it snows, the grass gets mowed. Now our paint's gone. So some of the graves we've done 3 times. under the same situation. There's people call, say, hey, we're coming. We're supposed to charge for that layout of that, I don't know, $100, $150, I think it's $100 that we agreed to charge for that fee to lay it out. It takes 2 or 3 hours sometimes to find these and get them done. The guys are out there, the equipment's out there. So, when this happens, do we bill them every time? Or we bill them one time and then eat it the next 2 times? We're in a situation now where several of them have been laid out 3 times already, and they're gonna need laid out again before they can be done. So what do we do? I don't know. I was only just made aware of this today.
I thought those last 7 that they had, I thought those were all laid out, weren't they?
They are laid out, but they never came to do them, and now the paint where they laid them out is all gone. So now when they call and say again, hey, we're gonna do this, the guys have to go back out and remeasure and relay all this stuff out.
Is there a policy, is there a time frame where we're working within
We're
that?
not, we don't know that. We don't know when the guy is ready to go get, All we do is when they call us, I tell the guys, they go lay them out.
And then we've done what we're supposed to do up till then, and then they don't show up when they said because of whatever. They just don't show up. And so now, so I guess I'm asking, do we need to start billing?
You need to tell them they need to come within a certain time frame or they're gonna be billed again.
I don't know what's
No,
happening.
that stuff disappears. It takes a little while for it to disappear. It's gone and then it's done again, they need to pay
Yep.
again. Or they need to show up when they say they're going to.
So it's just something that's a situation that's happening right now, but you are billing them the $100, billing the funeral home, right? Or the headstone company. And then they recoup that from the people that are buying the headstone. That's how that works. They pay for that service.
I
So,
bet they only do it once.
Right,
We've done a couple of them 3 times already.
unacceptable. That's a waste of time and resources.
very much a waste of time. So out of those 7 or 8 that we're supposed to do now, Nancy, none of them have been done.
Yeah, they're all marked, every one of them. There's ones in all 3 of them too, all 3 cemeteries. None of them ain't marked, they've been coming out at all. Nobody come, nothing. We've been looking for them and we ain't seen nobody come out at all. It's been beautiful the last week here. The weather was nice, you should have come out over the weekend
Yep.
last week.
So maybe it's time for, I can make a phone call to people going to footers and say, hey, this is unacceptable. You either gotta let us know when you're coming or don't let us know you're coming and not show up. Is that okay with you if I
It is.
have that conversation with them? It's just a situation I was only made aware of today, so I thought I'd bring it up to meeting tonight so everybody knows what's going on. And, okay, so on the other hand, if we bill 2 times or 3 times, that cost goes to the family. Is that fair? I don't know. To me, it is fair because
But that cost is going through their company, not ours.
not ours. So,
Yeah, that's not a good situation either.
no,
way.
it's not.
The family should only have to pay for it once.
Once.
and that
I agree, they should only have to pay for it 1 time. But on the other hand, should the township do it 3 times and only get paid for once?
No,
So somebody
That's
got
what
to
I'm
pay for it
saying.
in between
The
there. That's
family pays for it
kind of
the first
I
time.
guess that's kind of where I'm at. What-
that company needs to pay for it after that.
Right.
I'm kind of in agreement with that
I'm in
right there.
agreement, yeah, right.
So I'll have a conversation with them and I'll bring it up at the next meeting, what came of that conversation. So that's that. Buildings and grounds, other than the cemetery, work continues out down to garage down here. We have paint available. I've asked the guys to start in the very near future, taking stuff off the walls down there, cleaning the walls and painting. We're going to have to purchase more paint. We don't have enough to do it all. We started that several years ago and got a big part of it done, but not all of it. So I'd like to make a motion that when we do need more paint, purchase the paint. It's not going to be an extraordinary amount, but we're not going to have enough to do it all. It'll be under $500, but I'd like to make a motion that whatever materials they need to get that done, that we purchase them.
Paintbrushes, rollers, all
Rollers,
second.
drop claws, tape, whatever we need. We got a lot of stuff in hand. We may not have to buy anything but the paint, but we're going to have some expenses there. That expense will come out of the road department, so,
Right, I'll second that.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
yes. All right, I don't have much else in that other than you want to give us an update on the old town hall or
Right.
what's going on, or?
Yeah, speaking of buildings, the old town hall has a new ceiling. Lights and fans are updated, and Plotnick Construction, Paul Bauke is over there painting the building right now inside for free. He had some leftover paint, and they had the building heated to do some of the work, so they are painting that for us as we speak, so I wanted to thank them for that. It looks really nice. Unfortunately, that building has suffered some damage over the years from severe temperature changes. The heat, the cold is doing a lot of damage to the building. The Historical Society is having a meeting on Saturday to discuss paying to heat that building. And they haven't come to any kind of agreement yet, but if they do agree to heat that building, I would like to make a motion that we have that furnace serviced and set up so it can be used. I spoke with Jeff at Ravenna Heating and Cooling. He said a basic cost of that is $99, and if it needed any repairs, that may go up, but he can't do it until we get propane there for them to actually have pressure and be able to service
Absolutely.
it.
That is a
So-
95% efficient furnace in there.
It's a nice new
And it's
furnace.
put in there under NOPEC money. Insulation was blown into the attic. There's about 14 inches in the
Has
attic up
another
there.
layer of insulation now with the new ceiling as well.
And there is insulation blown into the walls. So it is a 95% efficient furnace. So
I would like to make a motion that when we do get a source of propane there, that I would have Ravenna Heating and Cooling service that furnace and do any needed repairs.
can I ask why Ravenna Heating and Cooling, White Refrigeration installed that? They were
Because
very
they're
familiar
local
with
and
it.
they're from Deerfield, I'm open to other suggestions, but they're a Deerfield company, so I called them.
That's important.
It is to me. I'd like to support local, but I'm open to other suggestions.
Okay. I mean, I don't care who does it. White Refrigeration has always given us a good deal. And been-
I wasn't sure anything about lights, so I called the
That's it.
local heating and cooling guy.
He's done all the work here and all the work at the top, down there and all the work at the fire station and installed the new heat. It was white stuff. I'm okay with whoever does it.
I mean, the price sounded reasonable, but we can get quotes if you'd prefer. I just picked him because he's from Deerfield.
All right, on that subject, ceiling at the old town hall. When are they going to put the tongue and groove on the ceiling? It's drywall.
So, yes, because the tongue and groove was no longer available because we had such a long time between getting the quote and getting the tongue and groove. Instead, we did beams and drywall. It's more time appropriate, it's in the budget, and that is why it's not tongue and grooved.
However, there is an issue. You made a motion that we tongue and groove that ceiling up there at the old town hall. I seconded the motion to tongue and groove the ceiling.
We made a motion to go with the quote to do that. Yes, we had to change because of the cost, to stay in the budget.
But who changed that? This is the first I heard. I went in today and looked at this drywall. We approved tongue and groove. To buy tongue and groove is about $4,500.
You and I did speak about that.
But not about changing it to just drywall. You said he was gonna have to make a trip to West Virginia to purchase the tongue and groove because we waited so long.
Because it was an alternative that was comparable.
But
It was
it's-
a comparable alternative.
Purchased drywall for 950 square foot is about $300-400. So that's
And they
not,
put the beams in so it would
But-
adjust with changing of the building.
again, that is not near what you made a motion and near what I seconded done. You're talking $300-400 in drywall and $4,500 in tongue and groove. I can, in good conscience, pay them $1,100 or $1,200 a square foot to drywall and ceiling, which is what that comes out to. There's 950 square foot. We're going to give them $11,800. That's
For
almost
the
$1,200.
lighting, the construction, the beams, the drywall, the paint, and they're painting the building right now.
But we did not agree to a drywall ceiling. We agreed to tongue and groove because of the building shifting and moving so that the ceiling won't crack.
And that's why we put the beams in to still allow that, and I was trying to stay into budget.
I think we're way over budget for a drywall ceiling. I can't go along with paying for that job when that is not what we approved to do.
What do you want to do about it?
He needs to do a price compensation because he drywall rather than tongue and groove. Like I said, I took the liberty of looking up about what the tongue and groove would cost, which it is available at Carter Lumber and Home Depot. It is available locally. and then that came out to about $4,500 to purchase that. The same amount of drywall for the same area is about $300.
Okay,
So we'll talk, there's a $4,000 difference right there. We're paying the man $1,200 to drywall the ceiling in the building. That's excessive. I didn't agree to that. I agreed to a tongue and groove, which if he'll come in and put tongue and groove over top of that, we'll still do with the tongue and groove. However, if he doesn't want to do what we agreed to do, that's not a good situation. I can't go along with paying him that same amount of money for a drywall ceiling.
to me, it was a comparable change. It got the job done in the time that we needed it to be done, as close as possible.
However,
and so
not even close to what you motioned and what I seconded. Not even
Okay.
close. So,
I disagree, I think it's very close, but there is a change, I will agree to that.
so 4,500 for material for one and 300 for another, that's a lot of difference. Tongue and groove is very labor intensive, which is why I agreed to the $12,000. Very labor intensive. Drywall is not labor intensive, it's not expensive. I won't sign the check to pay that. Let's make it that way.
Okay,
We need to renegotiate with him, he needs to tongue and groove it, whatever, because I will not agree to pay for that. As it sits, I agreed to the tongue and groove, I'm sticking to that, or a comparable cost for drywall, since we did not do the drywall. That's where I'm at.
okay.
So where we go? I assume there's a check tonight to pay that?
There is.
I cannot in good faith sign that check if it's not done what we agreed to have done.
And that was utilization of NOPEC money.
Right, right. However, it's not the job we agreed to have done. It's not what you motioned, and it's not what I seconded your motion. Any way, shape, or form, it's not even close.
Okay, well, we'll have to look into that and come up with a solution.
Okay? I just wanted to bring it up. Not saying it looks bad now, it's just not what we agreed to do. That's a lot of money difference between $4,500 material and $300 or $400 material. There's a lot of difference there. It comes out to about $1,200 a square foot. We're paying that man to drywall and ceiling. And by the way, he's not a local guy. We didn't get anybody local to do that. He's from Cleveland.
He's not from Cleveland. He
Where-
works in Cleveland. He is from Hartville.
Okay, still not a local guy though.
But the guy that you had hired didn't come through.
Right.
So I tried to get somebody in to do it in the time frame
And I
that we
agreed for
had.
that, but again, this guy was not from Deerfield, and we didn't get any cost from anybody from Deerfield. So.
It was a time-sensitive issue.
That's, and it's, okay. Again, I won't sign that check. I did not make that motion to allow drywall in lieu of tongue and groove. I would have never seconded your motion for drywall at that cost. But I did second the motion for tongue and groove, which I thought was appropriate to put up there because of the situation. But no, it's not what you asked for and not what I agreed to. So we need to come together. And how he's going to remedy that, my opinion is he needs to go and put tongue and groove over top of that drywall. Or he needs to give us a substantial price reduction because he went from tongue and groove to drywall, which I would agree to. That's where I'm at. I have nothing else in buildings and grounds unless you do.
No.
Motion to
Well,
adjourn.
are we going, well, no,
Oh,
I'm not done.
You have some things to bring
No,
up.
we
though.
can't be done with the meeting. We
You have
can be
some
done with
things to bring
building and
up.
grounds. Are you comfortable with making a motion to get the furnace serviced? Or do we
Yes.
need to revisit that? Well, I will make a motion to get the furnace serviced by Ravenna Heating and Cooling, once we get propane in place.
Who's historical's getting into propane in place?
Well, they're having a meeting about that on Saturday.
Okay.
So pending that,
Yeah, I'm good.
there's no point in doing it if there's no.
I'll second your
service.
motion to get the furnace service and running when the time comes that that can be done.
Okay.
Okay, I have one more question then. Sorry to throw a monkey wrench into this. At what point then is that building done to get the heat in there?
I'm sorry, what's the
I
question?
says, at what point then is that building gonna be ready to have heat put in it? if we're still working on the inside of
As
it.
far as I'm concerned, it could start right now. I mean, the
That's
building's.
not gonna affect any of the work that's going on.
No.
It would make it easier because they're bringing the portable cameras now.
It would probably make it better in there. I'm okay with it.
I'm going to the meeting Saturday, so it was a question that I'm asking for that purpose, so. Okay, thank you.
No, that won't be a deterrent or anything to what's
Okay.
going on in there, so.
There is a conference in January, or February, 6th through the 9th, the OTC conference. I would like to make a motion that if any of the trustees or fiscal officers would like to go, that we would pay for travel, hotel, and fees and 1 meal a day, as we have in the past.
I will second that motion.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes.
I purchased lights for the circle. We did not have a Christmas tree because of the gazebo being wrecked and not repaired. I got an LED tree for that and some other lights and decor. That total was $384.03. I would like to make a motion that we pay for that.
The township pay for it?
Correct.
It's stuff that can be reused another year?
Yes, indefinitely.
Yeah, it's township purchased it and for township use. I'll second that motion.
So that's for $384.03.
I'll second that
Yes.
motion.
Ed.
Yes.
Do we have any updates on a retirement party for Chuck Little with the association?
So unfortunately, nobody showed up to the meeting, so over 2 months, we've not been able to have a meeting. So I do not have an answer. We were supposed to, it was gonna be the reorganizational meeting, and I was hoping to set a date. That's really what we're waiting on, honestly. I'm really not sure what's going on with the association right now, so. I mean, we can't get people to show up for meetings, and there's not really very many members left on the association, so that's a hard question to answer.
I feel like we should not let that go.
That's really my concern. I mentioned that at the not meeting, the few people that did show up, I mean, we didn't have quorum, so we couldn't have a meeting, but the few people that did show up, I said, you know, we can't let this go. It was almost 50, I mean, he was on over 50 years, so, let me talk to the other officer on the association and see if maybe we can do like an emergency meeting where we don't have to have a quorum. I'll have to look at the bylaws and make sure that we can do that, and hopefully we can get something figured out.
We're having another meeting, but that meeting is just for closing. Is that an open meeting or just a regular meeting? That is what, December 28th?
27. So we can discuss other things, but the year-end stuff at that meeting, correct? All right, so
So December 27th, maybe we can, that gives us a little bit of time to come up with, I just don't want months to go and Chuck isn't recognized. I'd like to do something. And it doesn't have to be planned to be immediately, but just to have something in place, so.
Right. No, I completely agree. I will try to call it Claire tomorrow.
50 years of service, the man deserves that and more. On it, he does.
Absolutely.
And at the meeting before, we talked about maybe joining forces. Maybe if the association doesn't do something, the township will we have to do something.
Right.
But it would be nice to join forces and do something together. Vaughn had 2 separate parties, and I think it kind of took away from the large party that could have happened. So maybe more information by December 27th would be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know we approved to have a party. I think we set a dollar amount, but I'm not positive. We were supposed to have somebody check on availability of the town hall and different catering places, but we couldn't have a meeting after that because nobody showed up, like you said. So
Okay.
I'll see see if we can do some type of emergency meeting or something.
Especially if you let people know what it's for, maybe they'll be more apt to participate, I don't know. Maybe not, I don't know.
We'll try it.
Okay. That's all I have.
Were we going to, about the insurance, or are we going to do it
Oh.
next meeting?
We can do it now.
We were at a township meeting, a township association meeting, where all the townships are represented and everything. A couple longtime fiscal officers put a short presentation on during that meeting pertaining to new elected officials and re-elected officials. There are some things that we have to do. Some of the things, a lot of the things we'll do at an organizational meeting. Other things have to happen before that. One of the things that we have to do prior to the end of the year is insurance is offered to any elected official. And full-time road employees, whatever, it is offered to them. So we need to make a motion that this insurance will be offered to new and newly elected officials before January 1st, because if we don't do it before January 1st, it becomes an item of they prospered from office. This is something an enticement they got after they started their term. This is why we have to just make that aware that this is offered under the Ohio Revised Code. It's something we have to do. So I'll make that motion that any new elected or re-elected officials are aware that insurance is available, and that we continue that into 2024.
I'll second.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Yes. I do have a couple more things on buildings and grounds, so just real quick. We have a tree right there. I think it looks pretty nice. We had residents of our community, Ken and Robin Reese, loaned that to the township to use. We intended to put it in the gazebo. However, couldn't put it in the gazebo, so they said, yeah, go ahead and put it up there. I think it turned out very nice. Denise had a lot to do with it. The guys took some of the parts down there, had a lot of wire work to do. They did some of that down there. These guys, Tracy and Denise, did all the decorating on it and everything. I think it turned out nice. Again, Denise has let the township use her stars, or snowflakes rather, around the circle, and the big wreath at the old town hall. I think they turned out great again this year. I think they're a great enhancement to our circle. I'd like to thank you for continued letting us use those and everything. I know you weren't using them, and you graciously said, I'm not using them, go ahead and use them.
As long as I get them back, if you ever don't want them. That's all.
That's more than fair. I think it looks great up around the circle. I mean, that's a big enhancement. I like the big wreath on the side here, which Denise did the same things. I'd just like to thank them for you and the other ones for donating the tree, letting us use the tree, and they decorated the tree out in front that we had available. I think it looks nice, so, and these guys did that, so I'd like to thank them for doing that. You're welcome.
And we also decorated the circle.
And
We had about 20 people
you
show
and
up.
the group decorated the circle?
I showed up, Laura showed up, everybody in the community was invited. We had biomed students who were volunteering and doing community hours showed up. We had the best turnout we've ever had. The fire department showed up and put lights on the trees with ladders and boat hooks. It was a wonderful turnout, more than we've ever had.
So everything is not gloom and doom. There are some bright spots, and we're looking at some of them right now. So. All right, you got anything else at all?
I do not.
I have nothing else at all. I'd like to make a motion this time that we adjourn our regular meeting and pay our bills.
I'll second.
Roll call, Tiffany.
Yes.
Ed.
Yes. Thanks everyone for attending.
You can start here. Let's mix it up.
Okay, I'll see ya. Tell Terry to say hi.
Will do.
Go to the Facebook page and say hi.